How's it going, everyone? It's Morty here, and I am back. As most of you already know, I have went ahead and started my next VP push. I have been pushing for about 6 weeks now. So what I did was I went ahead and recorded some of the nice attacks throughout that time, so I can go ahead and make some videos for you guys. I put it all into one video, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and watch these hits and do commentary on them, so you can all enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get started. The first attack we have here. It's a hit done by Sawa. This is not a hit that I did. However, this base is 10 boosted ice, so it is a 10-10 base, and it looks like he has 5 offense, 5 of them are boosted. So let's go ahead and take a look. I was still at a low VP here, so I had around 1337, so I was not spawning these global bases just yet. So I did find this attack very impressive, so I went ahead and recorded it. Let's take a look. You don't see too many bases with 10 boosted ice, so when you do, you know it's an impressive hit. So he's using all Zooka and bullet. This is a double shield and laser base. So he goes ahead and shocks bullet, and then he uses 2 shocks. Then goes ahead and reshocks the machine gun. And look at the positioning. He's just clearing away with his Zookas, and bullet's taking on the fire. He keeps reactivating taunt to keep bullet alive. And then he goes ahead and flares the core as soon as that shield drain goes down. So look at the timing on here. This hit was just beautiful. Beautifully executed. He takes down a 10-10. Extremely difficult. So the next base we have here is this one, his Forge at 1583 victory points, and he has 7 boosted ice, and we have 3 offense, 3 of them are boosted. Looks like we got a notification for a turtle doing a YouTube stream. These recordings are done on my phone, so you do get some pop-up notifications occasionally. So we go ahead and bar up the middle rocket launcher, and then we drop RGCM on the right-hand side. We use 2 smokes to cover the landing. This is done so as soon as our troops come out of the smoke, they basically start firing. What happens is if we drop the troops without smoke, it takes them time to get into position and start firing, and that's just, precious seconds. So over here, we are actually out of range of that laser. So we do not shock yet until we need to, and then we go ahead and shock it. We use a medkit for that flamethrower. And now we throw a crit on that boom cannon, so the laser will fire on it. We used up the laser delay. That's why the laser fired almost immediately as soon as we threw those critters. We then waited about 2 seconds because we have that laser delay, and then we re-shocked it. So as soon as that laser goes down, we go ahead and flare into the corner. Then we drop a critter to distract that rocket launcher, shock launcher, machine gun, all these defenses. And then we drop one more critter. Gotta keep all those things off our back or we'll be in trouble. Then we clear away. We got a lot of critters today, so we drop one more critter. And then we shock the rocket launcher and flamethrower. We did lose quite a bit of our troops, however, we don't need too many at this final stage. We just need maybe 10, 15 Zookas for the free snipe. So we let our troops wander off. This is actually really good when a couple of troops wander off, because do you see those medics that are healing the rifles cryos? Those medics are going to be absorbing this rocket launcher's fire, which is exactly what we wanted. If that rocket launcher was targeting our troops or even these critters here, it could be trouble. So it's good that it was over there. So here we have a base. This one is 6 ice, 6 boosted. I was having a lot of trouble with these with the laser bases. The ones with shock blasters are relatively easy with RGCM. However, the ones with lasers require a lot more shocks. So with this base, I actually used the Scorcher RGCM. So we'll see what we did here, and it worked really well. So we go ahead and BART out the rocket launcher. And clear a little bit of mines. Now pay attention to the smokes here. We drop the Scorcher smoke first, and then we drop these other two smokes. The reason is, of course, the Scorcher will reveal itself first, and the laser will lock onto that Scorcher, and not a rifleman. There it is. Now the laser locked onto this Scorcher. Now until the Scorcher dies, the laser will not change targets. So now I do not need to worry about shocking the laser. I know that it's being preoccupied by that Scorcher. Another benefit is this rocket launcher up here is also targeting the Scorcher and not hitting our troops. So this is actually really helpful. So now the Scorcher dies and we use one shock in the laser beam. And then once it goes down, we flare into the corner. So essentially we use that Scorcher to save us a whole bunch of shocks and keep that laser busy for us. Now this is a very similar approach to what I did in the last base. We go into the corner, we drop the critters for distractions, and we start clearing. We shock the shock launcher because those troops had very little health, so they would have died. And then we drop a medikit this time. The medikit kept the troops alive while that shock launcher was hitting them. We do still have a nice amount of troops alive. And then we shock the rocket launcher and mortar so we can take it out. And then we go ahead and start our hacks. The first thing we do is we hack that sniper tower. Make sure not to hack all at once, make sure to hack slowly because those hacks do distract the rocket launcher and the shock launcher and all that. So I like to hack one at a time. We got enough hacked and the Zookers are doing their work and just taking the core down. So there it is, 6 boosted ice. This was a tough base, taken down with Scorcher RGCM. Here we have global number 1. This was the first time I took him down. As you can see, we did get 3 crystals, taking him down. So let's see what we did over here. We used the Grens, Zookas, and Medics with Bullet. So if you notice, we're using Taunt and we're not using Energy Drink. So I actually like Taunt a lot, especially because this tribes we had the rocket launcher boost. So I like Taunt because when Bullet goes into the rocket's blind spot, I activate Taunt and it does not kill the Grens. You'll see over here what I mean by that. So as Bullet's getting close and into the rocket launcher's blind spot, we activate Taunt, and now the rocket launcher basically stops firing. It does not kill our Grens. So what we do is we flare up. We want to make sure we take out that rocket launcher. As soon as the rocket launcher goes down, we flare back. Luckily, Bullet is still alive, and we have our Zookas. So now we have the perfect situation here. We have Bullet on the front absorbing the rocket launcher fire. We have the Grens in the back doing some damage and splash damage, and then we have the Zookas in the middle, which are really hammering away at the core. So here we have another base, Angel ID. I believe this is 7-7. This is actually a member from the Alliance. He's one of our German friends. So let's see how we took him down. We used RGCM. So I went ahead and barred out 2 rocket launchers. This was during last tribes when we had artillery damage boost. Otherwise, I would not be able to bar out 2 rocket launchers. It would just be 2 GB intensive. So we go ahead and take out now all 3 rocket launchers. 2 of them were barred out, 1 of them were hacked. And now we have no rocket launchers left. We go ahead and drop a critter and that laser targets it. And then we shock the laser and the mortar. We go ahead and do that shock one more time, and this time I missed. So that's unfortunate. However, luckily, I believe the laser did not take off many Zookas. It mostly targeted the riflemen's. Same thing there. As long as your troops spread out, the laser really isn't that deadly. So kind of let your troops spread out if you're fighting against a laser, because it'll only pick off one or two when it's firing at it. See there, when they were grouped up nice and tight, it took out a whole bunch, maybe 4 or 5. So the more spread out they are, the safer you are when you're dealing with the laser. However, now that all the rocket launchers are down, it's basically a very simple free snipe. And we just let our Zookas grind away at the core. Alright, so here we have the next base. This base is straight at 1595 victory points. So we go ahead and bar out the left rocket launcher, and then we clear our mine on the right hand side. And we're going to use a similar RGCM approach. Drop the troops, and then we drop 3 smokes. I want to make sure they all explode at the exact same time. We drop a critter there. The critter goes ahead and clears some mines, as well as distracts the rocket launcher, flamethrower, and all of that. We then go ahead and shock the flamethrower and the mortar. And then, as you notice, we drop our delayed boat of riflemen. This is very important, delayed boat, because those front riflemen have already mostly been killed off, but we're going to have a fresh boat of riflemen alive because we dropped them late. So this is a very, very important part of the hit. We then go ahead and do a little grouping flare, because we got to take out that shock blaster. So now our troops are aiming at it a little bit more. We have quite a bit more troops there. We drop a medkit so those shock launchers don't take out too many Zookas. And then we'll go ahead and flare to the corner. We use 2 smokes just so we can get there safely. And then the critters from Spark will distract the shock launcher and the mortar. We didn't even have to use our own critters there because Spark supplied the critters for distraction. Very similar approach here. We're just clearing inwards. We go ahead and use 1 shock, get the shock launcher and machine gun, and we keep clearing. The only thing we really got to worry about now is that rocket launcher up top. So we'll clear a little bit more. So as soon as that went down, we go ahead and flare upwards, and then we go ahead and shock the rocket launcher and machine gun. I did leave that mortar unshocked. Luckily, we did have what was the crystal shield, which protected us from it, so that was nice. That rocket launcher, the shock expired, and we did lose a whole bunch of Zookas. However, it looks like I still have enough to take the core down. At this point, there's just that shock launcher up, and it's not really too deadly to us. We hacked the boom cannon. And we have plenty of troops left just to grind out this core. I hacked the boom cannon one more time. Keeps the shock launcher busy. The shock launcher gets taken out, and the core goes down. 7 boosted ice. Take a look at the next base. This one is some Chinese name I cannot read. And it's 7 boosted ice with looks like the similar strategy RCCM. As you can see, I use this strategy a lot because it works. You know, I use what works. This time we actually did a very different approach. This guy has a shock blaster behind the core. So what I did was I actually cleared for free snipe here, which means I cleared everything. We go ahead and drop the triple smoke again for the same reason. We want to make sure they explode out of the smoke and start firing immediately. I drop the critter on that rocket launcher, and then I use the crystal shield. So I keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. The shock launchers go down. Now I wait until the machine guns go down. As soon as that machine gun goes down, I went ahead and flared onto the shock blaster. And then I shock that rocket launcher on the left hand side, and then I flare onto it. So cleared another boom cannon, and then as soon as that went down, I moved up for a free snipe spot. Went ahead and hacked the boom cannon, hacked the sniper, and now we're in a safe free snipe. And even though there's double shields that are still up, we have plenty of Zookas, and Zookas are powerful. They can easily grind down a core, even if it's 2 million. The Zookas will just snipe it down, no problem. You do gotta be careful with running out of time. So as long as you have enough Zookas alive, you'll get it down. This one was a different strategy with RGCM. All right, make sure to pause it. Here we have another base. This one looks like he's in the global leaderboard. I'm not sure what his name is. We did use 3 offense for it, so let's go ahead and take a look what we did over here. He has 7 boosted ice. So this is a very similar attack that we did another time. We go ahead and bar out the 2 rocket launchers, one on the left and one on the top. We use a triple smoke for the landing. And critters for the flamethrower. We use a mortar on the boom cannons for that to shock that mortar and that shock blaster. We shock the rocket launcher. And then we do a little grouping flare so we can get a shock blaster just a little bit easier. And as you notice, we went ahead and dropped the late order riflemans so they stayed alive. Now again, as soon as that shock blaster goes down, we flare into the corner. See here we waited just a little bit longer. I wanted to go ahead and take out the sniper tower. So the sniper tower was taken down, and then we moved into the corner. At this point, there is no rocket launchers left, which is really nice. As you notice, what I did was I threw a smoke to keep my rifleman safe from that flamethrower. There isn't really much that can damage me at this point. So I'm basically just hacking. Mortar went down. The Zookas will take out that sniper tower. And yeah, we're just grinding it down. All the rocket launchers down. The rocket launchers are usually the biggest threat. So with the rocket launchers out of the way, there isn't too much that can do too much damage. That shock launcher over there can be deadly. However, the critters are doing a great job keeping it busy. We went ahead and threw our critters onto the machine gun to again keep that shock launcher off our Zookas. And as you can see, it did shoot 1 on us, but we did get the core down. Let's take a look here. Now we have a old school heavy Zooka bullet attack. We have not used this combination as much since the bullet nerf. So what they did was they made the radius for bullet taunt a lot smaller. So it made this combo not as effective as it used to be, but in certain situations it does still work. So let's go ahead and take a look. So this base is double shield gen and laser beam. And I believe it's 6 boosted ice. We group up onto that sniper tower, and then we go ahead and flare in between the laser and rocket launcher. And now we flare onto the shock launcher, and then we throw a critter onto the laser beam. Now, the reason why we threw a critter onto that laser beam is it actually marked the laser beam. So you notice the first thing the Zookas take out is the laser, because we marked it and throwing a critter on it. And now we're clearing away. We wait until that flamethrower and that mortar gets taken down. As soon as it does, we go ahead and V-smoke. Throw 3 smokes, and then we flare upwards, so right above that boom cannon. Then I flare onto the boom cannon on the right-hand side. And everything does get taunted, which is perfect. and now it's clearing away. What I do here is I actually go ahead and clear for a free snipe. The video does get cut off, but essentially what I did here was I just took out the sniper tower up top and I flared onto the shock launcher. Then I moved back up to free snipe it until it goes down. So I think what happened here was I got a phone call and the recording just stopped. And I don't think I re-recorded it, so but it's basically the hit was done at that point. It was a free snipe. So let's take a look at the next base here. We have another 7 boosted ice base that we took down with RZCM. If you guys are noticing a pattern here, we have a lot of very similar bases that we take down the same way. Because let's be serious, if a strategy is working, stick with it. You know, I like to be simple. If I'm using something that's working, RZCM, it's working on these bases, I'm going to do the same thing over and over again because why shouldn't I? It works. So this is the same strategy here. We're going to go ahead and drop a critter now. And then we're going to go ahead and clear inward on... this time we actually didn't drop a critter. We actually just went ahead and shocked the mortar and shock blast there. The flamethrower doesn't look like it's doing too much damage, so we just kind of, let our rifles take that. And then we dropped the critter afterwards when the shock expired for that shock blaster. We keep moving forward. Alright, there it is. I took the shock blaster down again. I dropped the rifleman, the last water rifleman late, so it had a full water rifleman. And now we go ahead and continue on the right-hand side. I do like the right-hand side better than the left-hand side, but this hit, it'll work on either side. Just my personal preference is the right-hand side. Go ahead and use 2 smokes to make sure we're in there nice and tight. And again, so the Zookas can explore with the smoke. We went ahead and shocked the mortar, machine gun, shock launcher, and sniper, which is the only thing that can really damage us. There's 1 sniper on the right-hand side, but snipers aren't too bad. And then we go ahead and shock it one more time. We keep clearing. And then I drop a critter. So that was bad. The critter was a little bit late. And I lost a whole bunch of Zookas there to those shock launchers. So 1 shock launcher hit me. And then immediately after the other shock launcher hit me before my medics had a chance to heal the Zookas. So we did lose a whole bunch of troops there, but oh well, it happens. We still have enough Zookas to get this thing down. Now, as soon as that mortar goes down, we go ahead and hack the shock launcher. And it looks like I still have plenty of Zookas. And the Zookas are just taken down. Take that boom cannon down. The rocket launcher, shock launcher, they're all being... they're all targeting those riflemen on the going to the left. The medics are healing them, so we could just take it down. Another 7 boosted ice base. Here we have global number 4, and we're taking him down with RZCM. So again, very similar approach. Double shield shock blaster is very common, and they can almost all of them be taken down with a very similar version of this, or maybe a slight variation. It works almost every time. Go ahead and use 2 smokes, drop the troops, and start clearing. We shock the mortar and the shock blaster. There's a critter over there. Do a little grouping flare to make sure we take down that shock blaster. As soon as it goes down, we go ahead and move up. And now we start clearing the right-hand side. This time we shock the machine gun and that mortar. Keep clearing. It's very important here to let your troops spread. You don't want to be flaring. You want to let your troops spread out a little bit because the rocket launcher, shock launchers, if you don't let your troops spread, they can be very deadly. So always try your best to let your troops spread out. You see those medics on the right-hand side? That's very helpful because those will actually distract the rocket launcher for us. So let your troops spread out, let the medics wander off, let them, go to the right-hand side, and let them just do their own thing. The more spread out your troops are at the end, the better your chances are actually getting that core down. So there we have another base. So this time we used Grunts. So again, this Grunt combo is amazing. We used five boats of Grunts, two boats of medics, and one boat of Zookas, and then we took a long bullet. So let's take a look what I did over here. So this base is 7 boosted ice, and I went ahead and brought out the shock blaster and dropped bolt. Now pay attention, I used taunt here. Taunt is very important because this base is very close to the front. So taunt actually keeps bullet alive better than energy drink. So it really depends. Sometimes I switch over between which one I use. In this case, taunt did work better as bullet stays alive throughout the whole thing. Okay, go ahead and float to the corner and we shock the shock launcher. Now this is good because bullet is not taking damage right now. We're able to just shock and let bullet kind of rest. You want to make sure bullet stays alive. If bullet dies, you're in trouble. I went ahead and dropped the smoke there so we don't lose any grants to that cannon. And now the grants are just kind of destroying everything behind the core. They're taking out that rocket launcher, they're taking out the shock launcher on the left. They're just kind of wiping it out. So we do have enough medics healing bullet that it will stay alive even with 2 rocket launchers firing at it. And now we have again a perfect setup. We have the bullet in the front taking all the rocket fire. We have Zookas in the middle, knocking down the core. And we have Grants in the back just dealing damage and taking out whatever is behind the core with splash damage. So that's a really nice way of doing the Grant hit. So here we have a really nice all Zooka with bullet attack. This is, I wish I knew what global position he is. I mean, he has 1904 victory points, so he's probably maybe global 10 or global 11 maybe. This wasn't so long ago. As you can see, my victory points are here. Here are 1619. This hit was maybe last week. So he's probably still in the global top 10 or top 15. So this base has 2 shock launchers in the front and a laser beam. I tried this with RZCM and it was not working. It was just too much with the shock launcher and the laser. So I went ahead and used all Zookas with bullets. And this strategy worked really well. So shock bullet over there on the right hand side. Now the key here is to make sure that this right rocket launcher and that laser beam are both targeting bullet, which they are. So now that we have that done, we can let the Zookas take away the core. I went ahead and shocked on the left-hand side that shock launcher, just kept shocking it. Because that shock launcher, unfortunately, is closer to the Zookas than it is to bullet, so it would be taking down, it would be attacking our Zookas and taking them down. Drop the critter, and before we know it, the core goes down. 7 boosted ice, that was a really fun all Zooka with bullet hit. So here we have, I believe this is global number 4 with 2177 victory points. This one was interesting because he actually copied one of my base layouts. So I know how to take it out. Went ahead and hacked the right rocket launcher and then barked the laser beam. So now with the laser beam out of the way and the right rocket launcher out of the way, just kind of clear the left-hand side. As soon as that rocket launcher goes down, we go ahead and flare onto the left-hand corner. And then I throw a critter to distract the shock launcher. Keep clearing inwards. I do have a lot of troops here alive, which is great. As soon as that mortar goes down, flare upwards, and then shock the rocket launcher. So we're just going to clear everything. Shock it one more time. And now we're going to start hacking. With all these Zookas, the core will drop really quickly. We hack one more time. Again, the only thing here that could really do any damage to us is that shock launcher, and it's being taken down by the Zookas anyways. But either way, the core is dropping really quickly, and down it goes. 7 boosted ice. So usually it's really hard to BART a laser beam because it takes up so much GBE, but in this case it worked really well. Here we have another heavy Zooka bullet attack against a 7 ice, 7 boosted base with 3 boosted offense. Take a look. So this is a double shield with a shock blaster base. Let's see what we did over here. So go ahead and BART up the right rocket launcher and then mark the middle shock blaster. Marking that shock blaster is very important on these hits with bullet. If you don't mark the shock blaster, bullet will die pretty quickly. The shock blaster does do a lot of damage to bullet, so you want to make sure that the shock blaster gets taken out pretty quickly. So that should be the first one that gets taken out. And now we flare upwards, and then we do 1 shock on the shock launcher, and mortar, and machine gun. The shock blaster gets taken out, and we keep clearing. We use 1 more shock on the machine gun, mortar. Now, as soon as those boom cannons go down, there it is, we flare on to that rocket launcher. What I did was I actually threw a critters to keep this mortar busy. This mortar is very deadly, so you want that off of your Zookas. Do not want that targeting your Zookas. See, look at that mortar shot. That mortar shot just took away probably half of my Zookas, and they're gone. So I shocked the mortar late, and I lost a whole bunch of Zookas. Luckily, I still did have enough to finish the core. And as you can see here, went ahead and free snipe, and the core did go down. It was probably, this was very close. I think it maybe had 5 or 6 seconds left, so it was like a really close hit. Luckily got it down. Really cool attack with heavy Zooka bullet. So this is the last attack we had for today. This was about, I don't know, we have 10 videos here, about half-hour long. Hope you enjoyed. I want to make sure I got some commentary on these videos since a lot of them want explanations and kind of why we do certain things. So this is the first video. I just started my push again, so we'll have many more videos to come. Stay tuned, and hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.